we are just speaking from the notes of Nectar of Devotion. We spoke last week about what was the things that are stopping us from hearing and chanting properly. Just a quick review. We'll do a quick review of what we said, what blocks us to chant properly. We spoke about offenses, the different type of offenses. We spoke about offenses to the holy name, offenses to Krishna, offenses to devotees, and offenses to all other living entities. And then another thing that stops us to chant properly is our desire for material things. Too much desire for material things, desire for liberation. Imagine, desire for liberation also blocks to chant properly. And desire to achieve the mystic powers, the siddhis. So because all these are material hankerings. So that means our heart is still in the material things. And then miserliness of the heart means small things. We are too attached to small things, which are really not important. Trifling things, not related to Krishna. Trifling, they're so tiny and yet we are so attached to them. Deceit, deceit, we're trying to cheat people. Envy, we are so envious. So that's really that stops us. And then longing for position and fame. Position and fame, we all like to be worshipped. So that's stopping us to chant properly. And then another thing we spoke about was the root cause of the ignorance is that we do not understand the true power of the holy name. We don't worship Krishna and we think ourselves separate from Krishna. We don't look at ourselves that I am a part and parcel of Krishna. We think I am whoever, we have that identity of us. I am this and this person. I am this one's husband or wife. And I do this kind of work. And these are my children. And this is, So we have created this identity for us, ourselves. But that's not our true identity. And that stops to chant properly. And then what is the root cause of all offenses is inattention. Inattention. So what to do? We all are so inattentive. Just have a sincere mood to pay attention. Krishna will help. Just have that, I need, try best. Put the best effort. Of course, if we watch TV and chant and we say, I'm here, then what can we do, right? Of course, we won't be able to do it then. But if we are sincerely trying, then gradually it will come. So don't get too concerned about it. In the morning, we spoke about anger, getting angry at ourselves. But then I think that's not a good, I was reflecting on it a little later. And I think because anger is a negative emotion. And so if we get angry at ourselves, we are not really motivating ourselves to chant properly because the mind knows, okay, you're angry. Well, okay. And then we might say things to ourselves, which are not very nice to our own self. And then those things we might say to others. Because we are speaking such words to our own self, then we will not hesitate to speak out the words to others. So, in fact, I was thinking we can try to focus that Krishna loves us so much. And the only way that we will be able to realize his love for us is if we can try to hear the holy name. So let me just try to pay attention. Let me just try to hear this one name. Hare, let me try to hear one name and just go one name at a time. Buddhijana Prabhu says that. Don't think I'm going to hear all 16 rounds, all 108 names. Just let me hear this one name. Like that, we try to, speak to the mind. So I was thinking that that's a better method, that let me pay attention so that I can feel Krishna's love. I can realize Krishna's love. Krishna loves me so much and I'm not paying attention to this holy name who can make me realize how much Krishna loves me. I thought maybe we can try that. What do you all think?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Because anger, I feel
It's a negative quality, that's why.
Yeah, it's a negative emotion and it just builds a lot of negativity in us. So rather put a positive emotion, and love is a very positive, most positive emotion. So let's try it that way. And as Burijana Prabhu says, try to hear one name at a time. Let me try to hear this one name. My dear mind, you just hear this one name and gradually build the practice. I've personally tried it and it does help. So
Okay.
I encourage you all to try it too. Let me hear this one name. And especially when we are beginning that Hare, let me pay attention to Hare, And if we just do that, then most probably we can hear the full mantra. And then again, before starting the next mantra, let me just hear this mantra,
So you mean all the Hares in that one line? All the Hares, right? Hare
Yes,
Krishna, Hare. So the Hare. Okay.
Yeah, let's pay attention. And you can tell your mind, let me pay attention to this one full mantra. Okay, my dear mind, I know 16 rounds you cannot pay attention. That's okay. 108 beads you will not pay attention. No problem. Just pay attention to this one mantra. One. And starting with Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Then you can. Then one mantra, then again, just hear this one mantra. Just hear this one mantra. Then gradually it builds up. It's a helpful exercise. It really helps.
Since you are telling us the importance of listening, the sound, I would just like to say that thank you very much. Yesterday, you mentioned that there was a Baldev Prabhu class and the class was only on the importance of sound, that how important the sound is, how it is coming, how the positive sound impacts, what is the negative sound and what impact it has created in the pandemic is due to the negative sound that has come up in the world. And it was such a beautiful class. So yes, like as you also said, that the sound, like only that one Hare can transform. And if it is coming from a pure devotee, like as you always play in the morning class, Srila Prabhupada audio, I put up that question, but due to some reason, I had to disconnect, so I couldn't hear the answer. And I had put up that question there, that if we play the Prabhupada audio and chant along with that, so like that would definitely have more impact because that's a pure devotee sound and that will touch our soul, because the other sound will just touch our mind or our intelligence. That doesn't have power to touch our soul. But a sound of the pure devotee has power to touch our soul and reform us. So thank you for that. Like as you mentioned the sound, I think if you have the link, because I don't have, but you can post it in the group. Everybody will really be benefited by that class.
Well, I'm not sure if I have the recording of it because I'm
maybe
not sure. Actually,
like you can find out.
I was not able to attend because I was hearing another class on Isopanisad.
But you can ask them, like maybe you can ask them because
I can ask. I can ask if there's a recording. I can.
Yeah, so like as you mentioned, the sound is really, and it really matters what sound we are listening every day.
And Prabhupada's recording is always played even in all the temples when they have the japa in the morning, 5 o'clock. Prabhupada's recording japa is always there in all the temples playing that.
And I thought personally that made a lot of difference in my chanting. That brought a lot of difference in my chanting. Like when the Prabhupada audio is played, and it is easily available on YouTube, 16 rounds of Prabhupada. So when I play that and when I chant, the impact is totally different on what I'm doing it on my own.
Wonderful.
So thank you. That made a lot of difference. The class was really powerful.
Oh,
so yes.
Great. I'm glad you were able to attend it and get some positive inspiration from that. Thank you. So yeah, Prabhupada's japa, very powerful. I'm sorry. I'm not sure if you're able to hear it when I play it in the morning during the japa. I'm not sure if you're able to hear that.
We can hear it, but it could be a little louder.
Oh, it could be a little louder?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, maybe, yeah, let me try to do something. Okay, then, okay, now additional key takeaways from the lecture. This is what I took away from there, additional things. Avoid sadhu ninda. You should avoid sadhu ninda.
Sorry, but you missed this one. The humility means we are
Humility
not.
means, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, thanks. So humility means we are not anxious to be honored by others, because we are always so anxious, right? That I should be acknowledged. Or why didn't they speak to me? Why did they not acknowledge me? So we have to get rid of this. How to get rid of this? Chant the holy name. Again, we have to chant the holy name to become humble. And then we need to be humble to chant the holy name. So it's both, it goes both ways. We are always that, oh, I went there, they didn't even look at me, they didn't even acknowledge me, nobody said hi, nobody spoke to me. I had to go and tell them. We have that, somebody should come and speak to me, without understanding what's our true position, in this entire material world. Who are we? We think we are the center of the universe, but actually we are not. So we need to cultivate this humility, but not the false humility. False humility, we think, oh, if I speak nicely to someone, or, if I artificially praise them, but that's not real humility. Real humility is we need to accept our true position. Who are we actually? We are very tiny, insignificant souls, 1/10,000 part. We think we are this body, so our ego is like this of this body, but our size is very tiny. And we don't have much. We can see, even we have been hearing in Bhagavatam, even to blink our eyes, we are controlled by demigods. Even to be able to speak, we are controlled by demigods. So we have to try to understand that what actually is our position. Nothing much. But the more we chant, the more it helps us to cultivate humility, honesty. Then we can be honest that, yeah, I'm really insignificant. It's not easy because we are so used to, since millions of births, we are used to get honor by others. So it needs a little practice, but we need to. And yeah, so that's humility. And then sadhu ninda, avoid sadhu ninda, avoid it. And who's a devotee? Who's a devotee is someone who surrendered to Krishna and his name. Surrendered to Krishna and his name. So once Lord Chaitanya was asked by a devotee, who's a Vaishnava? So Lord Chaitanya told him, somebody who has chanted the holy name once. He's a devotee, he's a Vaishnava. Again, another second time, Lord Chaitanya was asked this same question, who's a Vaishnava? Lord Chaitanya said, someone who's regularly chanting the holy name is a Vaishnava. Again, he was asked the same question third time, who is a Vaishnava? He said, someone who, looking at that person, somebody chants the holy name. That person is a Vaishnava. So that means to show that there are so many levels, levels. We are all devotees. We are all trying to be devotees. Each are at a different level. So what is the point? The main point is surrender to Krishna and chant his holy name. Somebody who has just begin to chant his holy name is also being called a devotee. But each of us have different levels. So we don't need to compare. There's no comparison, but just understanding. And then we can pray to Krishna in following manner. Speak to Krishna, speak to the deities, offer prayers. Prayers can be our own or of acharyas. Prayers are very, very powerful. They really help a lot. Speak to Krishna, he's there in our heart. He's always there waiting to hear us, waiting when will we turn back to him. Speak to the deities, Krishna is there in front of us as the deity. Offer prayers. And then express heartfelt desire to achieve bhava for Krishna. So we can express this desire to Krishna, that I would like to love you, Krishna. I want to experience this Krishna prema. That's the goal of human life, actually. Krishna Prema, love for Krishna. We should desire to be able to feel that love. We have been hearing that Krishna is so loving. He loves us so much. How he's loving the devotees. That's why he's doing different things. So we also should be able to express our love for Krishna. He's doing things for us. The very reason we are existing is because he loves us. Right? And he's given us everything. Then express one's insignificance and sinfulness. This is called Denya Bodhika. We can express to Krishna, I'm really insignificant and sinful. You know, even if we don't feel it, we can still express it, and then we will realize it. Because we don't feel we are insignificant. We feel we are great. But that's our true position, insignificant. That's why it's called, what's that? Anu. You know, we're very small. We're very, very small. The Anu Atma, we are very small, very tiny, insignificant. How we see the sand on the ocean shore, there's so many grains of sand, right? Like that. So even the grain of sand is bigger than us. We can see it with the eyes, but the soul can't even see it with the naked eye. It's even smaller. Sinful, yeah, this material body is a sign that we are sinful. Because if we were not, we wouldn't be in this material body. We would be in the spiritual body. Understand our eternal ras or relation with Krishna. This is called lalasmai. This lalasmai is very important as it is the greed for Krishna. We should be greedy to get association of Krishna. If we are not greedy, that is, if we feel we can obtain his association in another lifetime, then we cannot get association of Krishna. So we should have that intense eagerness, lalasmai. The intense desire to be with Krishna. I need to see Krishna. He's so loving. He's so sweet. He's so wonderful. He's such an amazing personality. I wish I could see him. I wish I could be with him. I wish I could talk to him. How such a wonderful person he is. What is my relationship with him? How do I interact with him? What is my eternal form? We should have that greed for Krishna. That is lalasmai. And meditation on the form of Krishna, pastimes of Krishna, and service of Krishna. So meditation on form of Krishna, the Shyam Sundar form, two-handed with flute, lotus, the peacock feather on his head, and pastimes of Krishna, really wonderful. By the pastimes of Krishna, we are able to understand his love that he has for everyone. That's the reason he acts in such wonderful ways, because he's such a wonderful person. And service of Krishna, how we can please Krishna. How can I please Krishna? What can I do to please Krishna? Krishna, what can I do to please you? How may I please you? Please allow me to please you. You know, Krishna also has to be, he has to also allow us to please him. You see, we are also like that, right? If somebody is not nice to us, we'll say, it's okay, don't give me anything, don't do anything for me. I don't want it, I'm sorry. Isn't it? I don't know if you all have that feeling or no. You know, we'll say, it's okay, you can stay away. So we have stayed away from Krishna for a long, long time. So we have to show him that we really want to be with him now, that we want to serve him. Now we say serve, you think I'm a servant of Krishna. Again, we say service is an expression of love. It's because of love that we do some service. Any comments or questions till now what we spoke of?
On the prayers, like as you mentioned, the 5 points. So like this is like when we are praying in the morning, then we should be like offering some mantras. Is it what that means? The first one, that you speak to deity and offer the acharya prayers. That means
you see, we have prayers, of course, like Prabhupada has put a fixed morning program, right?
Yeah.
Samsara Dava, then you do Nishima. All these are prayers. We can sing those prayers.
Okay.
And then the Acharya prayers, and prayers can be at any time. Of course, like the Mangal Aarti, those are like Aarti. So but prayers can be at any time.
Okay.
Krishna, speak to him,
Mm.
you know. Yeah, speak to him, because otherwise our prayers are always, Krishna, give me this, I want this, why aren't you doing this, why aren't you giving me this, why this thing happened, why that thing happened. But let's change that mode and say, Krishna, I would like to please you. How can I please you? I would like to feel the love for you. I am so sinful, I'm so insignificant, somehow or the other I've fallen in this material world. Please pick me up from this ocean of birth and death and place me as a particle of dust at your lotus feet. You know, so to change that mood, otherwise we think he's our order supplier. You know, we order him and he's our servant. Krishna, why didn't you do this?
I have a question. Sorry,
No,
I have a question.
Yeah.
You were saying that we should chant along with Srila Prabhupada, but I'm having a problem with that because I'm not able to chant in the same pace as.
Oh yeah, you can't chant
So that's the
along
thing.
with
Then
him.
I'm getting distracted. Remember that initially you had asked, and I said, "Oh, but I'm not able to, chant together."
Yeah, you
So-
don't have to chant together.
So what do I do? Like, do I listen to it then?
You know what? Let it go on in the background, because Prabhupada's chanting is really fast. Even sometimes I try to keep up with it,
That's
but
the
I
problem
can't
I'm
keep up with it.
facing. I even tried putting at home
Yeah.
and tried chanting, but it's not.
So that's the optimum speed actually we should have. If we can get that speed, it's good. But if we can't, it's okay. But what happens is, if it's playing in the background at a soft, low volume,
Yeah.
then what happens, because our mind, sometimes we are listening to our chanting, but many times we are not listening to our chanting.
Yes.
Most of the time we are not.
Correct.
But because the Prabhupada's voice is also there in the background, the mind will go and hear it. It's more chances that we will hear the holy name. That's the reason. So then that helps.
So you put it in a very soft
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah, soft. Yeah, let it go softly. You know?
Because when it's loud, then it's, either I stop chanting and listen to it, or I don't know, it's not like,
Yeah.
then
So
I'm getting distracted or disconnected, like I feel.
I just wanted to say one thing. There are different paces on YouTube. If you go, then you will find the one there he is chanting it quite fast. There is another one where he's really chanting very slowly and enjoying it. So maybe you can look up there.
Okay,
But
and
and if
then
I'll
it just
find,
goes
then
on.
I'll share. Yeah, it just goes on. But the
Okay.
the few of them are really fast, and the others are really softly. He's singing. He's enjoying. So there are different ways that he has chanted. It's not only the one same one.
different tempo, you mean? Right?
Yeah, the different tempos are there. So if you're not able to catch with that one, then you maybe move on to the another one. So you don't have to worry, Sneha. You can catch on to some other.
Okay, so I
So
can
you can
look
look
it up.
up with,
Right.
yeah. And if I find some slow one, then I'll forward it to you.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a very good idea.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Is there anyone wanted to share anything else? No, then we'll stop here for today.
Yes.
Nectar of Devotion ki jai, Shila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for